So what's up? How we doing today? We're gonna take a look at some more chord tones with SUGAREE. Made a video a little while ago. Seemed to go over pretty well. I thought, you know what? I could make these kinds of videos so I'm blue in the face about playing chord tones in any song, but I thought, hey, you know, let's just stick with SUGAREE for right now and let's go to the next level. We looked at a way of playing just real simply along with the chord progression and focusing on different chord tones. In this case, we're going to pick out any chord tones you want for each chord, but we're going to throw in some chromatics. And chromatics basically, it sounds real fancy. If you don't know what it is, it just basically means playing notes that are outside of the scale. There's the chromatic scale. It's just, every single note is, you can practice it for exercise sake, but in practicality, it's like it doesn't really do too much to it. All you need is just one note here and there, throw in there. Huge part of Jerry's sound. He would throw in little chromatic notes all the time. Big thing in jazz world and stuff too, kind of like makes things sound real jazzy and stuff. But if you've seen my videos before, you know the drill. I'm going to play some examples with backing track. Let's just listen to the first one of me throwing in some chromatics around chord tones, playing with SUGAREE, and then see what's going on. So for this example, the tune is just B and E. We're gonna play just the middle four strings. So just right here, I'm gonna do this shape here. So if you're playing your B like this, it's this next one here, this next version of it. This is also pick the cage shape, the G shape, if you know that. Just the middle four of it, right? And then for E, we'll do the C shape, this one here. So just the middle four. So if you're going along and you're just playing real simple, you could just... Right, so you could first get familiar with that, just outlining the progression and just playing just real simple, just like that. You kind of hear the progression as I'm moving along by just messing around with the chord tones, but get used to them getting under your fingers, getting in your ears, and being able to hit them when you want to, and then mixing them up. So, maybe that kind of stuff. Then what was I doing? I was just basically playing real simple, just like holding the notes along with the chord, and then approaching it like, so that first one maybe, just playing this note right here and not worrying, like, is it in the key? Is it not in the key? Like, just don't even worry with it. You're just approaching the note from below up to the chord tone, which means you have to do it before. So you have to be focusing on that chord tone and hitting it. And for now, you're keeping it easy, hitting it when the chord changes. So, all right, start early. And then just get that shape. So any one of these. Maybe start doing more than one per chord. That kind of stuff, and that's all it takes. And this is not to make us sound like we're playing this awesome solo right now. We're just doing this for exercise sake, getting it into our fingers and into our ears. But let's expand upon this. Listen to another example, and this time I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna do two notes. So some of the notes these chromatic notes, maybe in the key, maybe not, it's the same thing. Doesn't really matter. We're just going to do two notes leading up to a chord tone. So let's see how that sounds. Again, same thing. We're just like, okay, say we're focusing on this note here. You can do that one there. do the same one there, but just keep kind of keeping this pattern because that's in both chords. All this kind of stuff, you know, mixing and matching, moving it around, and you can start to hear it's starting to sound even more kind of playful, and that's like a big way when you hear that Jerry's playing, he sounds so playful. This is one aspect of it. This is not like the thing that makes made his playing so playful, is adding these chromatic notes, but certainly one of the elements for sure. And maybe that's a good video actually idea of what are some of the things that make Jerry's playing so playful sounding and stuff, you know. And actually probably in the end, thinking about it now, the number one thing was his personality, you know, like it's just him, like what's inside him, you know. So it's like this stuff is all helpful, but in the end, you know, we're hearing like you, and that's what my goal is. I always want people to play the way that they are kind of meant to be played. Don't worry about copying somebody else. In this case, we're looking at, okay, with Jerry, ideas, things like that, or some other player that you like. It's great. That's how all the greatest players, they grab, they grab from other players, but ultimately to kind of combine and be themselves, you know. So anyways, you can play around with this stuff how you like it. But let's look at one more example of now doing the 2-note thing, but instead of always going up, we're gonna go backwards with it. So let's see how that sounds. So we've got ideas now where, say, we're going up like this, you know. Climbing up and then back down, just reversing it around. So and just try mixing and matching. So now we have 3 ideas here. One is just playing a note, very simple. The most basic part of this is just getting a note below, and you can go above, but you can try that out. It doesn't make some more videos on this in the future. It doesn't always work quite as well. It sounds a little harsher. There's just something about coming up to it. But anyways, going up to it, then doing 2 notes, and then going down those 2 notes. So going up, going down, mixing it all around, but really focusing on those chord tones. And you can try it out. If that feels easy for you, try it out in different sections, different areas, and try integrating it in. You know, first you're going to kind of maybe doing it a little heavy, but in the end you dial it back. You know, if you analyze the whole solo of Jerry, he's not doing this stuff necessarily that much. It may be just like a little bit here and there. It's just like these little spots, you know, one little spot in a lick type of thing, maybe a few spots, and maybe licks he's playing where he's not doing this stuff at all too. So hopefully that helps, and if you got time, you know, try it out with the backing track. Put a link down below and over here, and if you haven't seen the first one of the chord tones with Sugaree, check it out over here as well, and I'll see you in the next video.